It's been 3 years now since that awful murder of Janet Abaroa. But now, Raven is happily married, it appears, to a new woman in Utah.
They go on their honeymoon in Vegas, and Vanessa recalls Raven talking about Janet. You're talking about your deceased wife on the evening of your honeymoon.
He started talking about Janet and how mad he was after she died. Not how sad, not how heartbroken, just mad. And then he cuddled up closer to me and he said, "I promise I'll never hurt you."
This is the first night you're spending with your new husband, and the biggest topic is the deceased wife. That's a red flag.
Yeah, it is an odd thing for a newly married husband to confess to his wife, "I would never hurt you." I mean, I'm sure Vanessa's like, "Oh, you would never hurt me. Why would you say that? You know, I would just assume that you would never hurt me. You're my new husband."
Within moments, he could switch. He could say the most horrible things. And then moments later, he would apologize. "I'm sorry, I was just mad. That's just what I say when I'm mad. That's just what I do."
According to Vanessa, things start getting really bad. What started out as verbal abuse is now physical abuse.
He grabbed me from the door and threw me up against the wall, and then I fell. Later, he tried to convince me that I had tripped.
Vanessa's able to make the determination based on the deterioration of this new marriage that something is amiss here, and that she may not have married the person that she thought she'd married.
The ink hasn't even dried on Vanessa's marriage license, and she realizes she's made a terrible mistake.
The light just disappears from his eyes, and he becomes another person. And that part is terrifying.
Are you convinced you would have been his next victim?
Yeah.
And just like that, after just 4 months, the marriage is over. Vanessa no longer believes in Raven's innocence, but police back in North Carolina are still struggling years after the murder to find direct evidence of his guilt. And Janet's family, well, they've just about had enough.
At this point, we pretty much all knew he did it. I couldn't fathom why he hadn't been arrested. I was so mad because nothing was happening. I was like, he's gonna get away with this.
The family had their suspicions all along.
When I found out that she had died, even when it was believed at first that she committed suicide, because that's what Raven told us, I knew that he had something to do with it.
I wanted to believe that it was somebody else, but it kept just going through my mind, and the only person that pointed to was Raven.
My instantaneous nanosecond reaction was, "Oh my God, Raven has killed Janet."
Raven was flat broke. He had lost his job for embezzling. They were getting assistance from the church. He would do anything to get more money. He desperately needed cash.
Not long before Janet's murder, Raven took out a $500,000 life insurance policy for his wife, and they never missed a payment. Raven never missed a payment on those life insurance policies.
I mean, here's a guy who's on church welfare, he's lost his job, but he's still paying his $154 a month life insurance. You know, me, if I can't put food on the table, maybe I shouldn't be paying for life insurance.
Janet's sisters then start cataloging all the lies that Raven has been telling him, and they realize he's been lying to them ever since he said, "I do." Even lying about whether he did missionary work, he claimed he did, in Peru.
He never went to the mission training center. He never had a passport. He never went to Peru. So if you're going to enter into a relationship with a young Mormon woman and you're going to lie to her parents about what happened on your mission that you didn't even go, his whole existence with that family and with Janet was based on a monumental lie.
From the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
Liar, cheater, deadbeat, but a murderer? Well, the Durham police were not willing to take that step, at least not yet. The police have a huge handicap. No direct evidence tying Raven to the murder. The direct evidence they do have, that mysterious bloody footprint, the inconclusive fingerprint, points away from Raven Abaroa and suggests there may have been a stranger in the house.
With cases like this, we are constantly looking for enough information where we feel we can present this to a jury and we can win beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the burden of proof.
This is a circumstantial case. It's hard. It's not easy. Well, you know what? Sometimes justice isn't easy.
It's been 4 years. And nothing.
The family's very frustrated. The sisters decide to turn up the heat on this very cold case, so they sit down with me on ABC's Primetime Crime in an effort to get some more attention.
Cases that seem impossible to crack. Crimes that seem impossible to solve. That's why there's Primetime Crime.
He's out free, out there,
Yes, he is.
doing what he wants.
Yes, he is.
Does that anger you?
Very much so.
Yes. And fearful for other women or other people that come in contact with him. But he needs to be stopped from hurting anybody else, like Vanessa. I mean, we're concerned about other people getting hurt. If we could prevent that, then we feel like we're accomplishing something, and that Janet's death wasn't just for nothing.
We wanted to get Raven's side of the story, so we go to his mother's house outside of Salt Lake City. I knock on the door, I talk to them, but they turned me away, saying they would not comment on this case, and neither would Raven.
I was very happy that my sisters went to ABC and went public about him. I was hoping that this would put pressure on the police, put pressure on the DA. Now this made public, people are going to start getting outraged. I think when TV gets involved and tells the story and what's going on, it helps move justice along.
After our program airs, my interview with those sisters, something remarkable happens.
The very next day, we get a call from the Durham Police Department saying we've assigned a new detective to the case.
A new detective takes over this case, and he's about to change the course of this entire investigation.
I feel myself getting frustrated. I'm not 100% sure why.